80% of this country is rangeland. This is where we have natural occurring pastures, and it is areas where the rainfall is low. Like here, our rainfall, the annual rainfall is about 500 millimeters of rainfall. So the rangeland is where we have natural occurring pastures and where we have wild animals and livestock interacting together. In the rangelands, the wild animals, the livestock, and the people, they interact together, as compared to the grasslands where it is mainly for livestock. Rangelands, you have the two of them coexisting.
That is research analyst Kipkoech Bernard from the Kenya Agricultural Livestock Research Organization, Kiboko Center, explaining the difference between rangelands and grasslands. Characterized by their flat open pastures, rocky terrain, shrub, bush and woodlands. Grasslands are home to a wide range of flora and fauna. According to the International Grasslands Congress website, grasslands cover 27% of the world's land area, account for 70% of agricultural land, and are one of the most important ecosystems in the world. They form an important foundation for agriculture and livestock husbandry, as well as contribute to the livelihoods of more than 800 million people worldwide. In Kenya, grasslands support the bulk of free-range livestock economies, especially cattle, sheep, goats, camels, and some of the largest remaining migratory wildlife populations. They have also played a large role in ranching and pastoral economies and cultures, as well as wildlife conservation and tourism. This is a special year for Kenya in regards to addressing the challenges affecting the livelihoods of communities and wildlife coexisting in these important ecosystems. Dr. Miano Mwangi from the Kenya Agricultural Livestock Research Organization.
Now, the International Grassland Congress is a congress that brings professionals who work in grasslands together, and it was formed around 1920, so it's 100 years old, and it holds a congress every 4 years, and it goes to different places. Now, the next congress, which is actually the 24th Congress of the International Grassland Congress, is scheduled to be in Nairobi. And this is the first time that the Congress is coming to Africa in the 100 years history of the International Grassland Congress. And because of the importance of grasslands and rangelands, we have also talked to our colleagues in the International Rangeland Congress, and we have agreed to actually have a joint Congress. So the Congress that will be in Nairobi will be the 24th International Grassland Congress and the 11th International Rangeland Congress. Now, the theme for the Congress is sustainably managing grassland and rangeland resources to improve the livelihoods of the people living in those areas. So the conference will have many different themes and topics. It will look at grassland ecology, it will look at rangeland ecology, it will look at the livestock-wildlife integration and interaction and the impacts of that. But it will also look at other uses of rangelands and grasslands, what we are calling the multifaceted use of rangelands and grasslands. This includes producing different products and services from the rangelands and grasslands, and so we'll also be focusing on that.
They are, however, threatened by various natural but mostly man-made disasters and negligence such as continued global warming, poor agricultural practices, toxic pesticides, overgrazing, invasive species, and sometimes a lack of knowledge and information to avert them. KTN Farmers TV spent some time with some of the communities living in these ecosystems in an effort to highlight some of the challenges they face and the remedies being implemented. This is Benjamin Rauka, a member of the Oldonyonyoki Group Ranch in Kajiado County. After he lost his job as a tour guide in neighboring Tanzania due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Benjamin had no choice rather than to come back home and practice what he had learned from the foreign land. He would assist his community in bringing Paran Museum into light, but the pandemic followed him again. It is the month of July, and as you can see, the sun is blazing hot here at Kajiado County. I'm standing right in the middle of the Paran Cultural Center, which was created by the Oldonyonyoki Group Ranch members to supplement their income from livestock production. But due to the effects of COVID-19, things are at a standstill.
This is a cultural house that we normally have or receive tourists. When they enter through the door, we normally show them from this part, whereby we used to have even the branching road, we have the calabashes, we have the donkey penners. So we used to start from this point, showing them what we have, the cultural items that we have around Magadi or within our GIA site. And we move them around to show them what we normally have. So the way you can see here is that most of our cultural items are not with us just because of the COVID, other challenges. So the members have just decided to take them home, awaiting because of the security that we used to have. We have just deployed, and they have just decided to go home because of the way we are unable to pay them. So they went back home. So that's why now you can see members have just come taking their items back. When the economy or even the cultural museum resume their normal duties, then we also have to take those items back to their normal point. So the challenge now is actually we are calling about COVID. We have others that have just been affecting us, like Madenge. But what we are actually talking about now is COVID, actually, because there are no tourists even to show the items. There are no tourists to sleep our cultural bombers. There are no tourists even to visit and see our games. So that's why we are not having these cultural items at the moment.
Climate change is a global phenomenon and the effects are disastrous, year in, year out. The Kenyan media has covered stories reporting on the effects of drought to pastoral communities, with sad images like these awash on our TV screens. In an effort to mitigate these, pastoral communities have formed ranches and conservancies with strict guidelines on rotational grazing, animal population control, and how to deal with human-wildlife conflict.
We have the grazing system, or the grazing pattern that we used to have, because the community has just raised rules that everybody should follow. It's a must follow rules. It's not something that you have to go and negotiate. I want to do this beside what we have just negotiated together. So one is during the rain season, everybody should be at his permanent home. You should not just be migrating from this point to the other, because you don't have to go and interfere with the vegetation that is growing up at that same time. So the reason is that is the reason of actually not migrating during the rain season. Another thing is that during when the rain has just ceased, you have to stay at home for a while, and then there's another very general meeting whereby that members and the officials and even the civil servant, that is the chiefs and the Wasewa Nyumba Kumi, they have to go and organize on how are we going to follow grass that are maybe very far from your home. Like one, we have grass maybe that are on the other side, just within the plains. You have to also to spend like 2 to 3 months next to your home, and then another 4 to 5 months to even 6, you have now to go and follow the grass next to where the wild animals are. Another thing, during the drought season, mountains and other small hills are left. because you can see even the grass now are actually in the mountain. Because the reason is that nobody is allowed to climb the mountain with the livestock. What we have agreed, September 1st, that is the date that everybody should go with the livestock. You should not even wait a trumpet or even anybody to tell you go up. You wait that first, then you have to climb with the livestock. If you have the capacity, if you want to go, if you don't, then leave your cows to just graze where the plains are. So most of the time we are just chasing them and they don't have anywhere to go. Because one, on the other side is Tanzania, and there's another group range on the other side. And they're also trying to be with them, with a few left also, because there also another part ruled by the Mazenge on the other group range that is on the other side of us. So they used to chase the animals and us we chase the other side. So they are nowhere, just in the middle, and they are not even grazing. So they normally participate with their grazing during the night when our livestock are in the boma. So there is a big and stiff competition about our livestock and vegetation. So that is the problem that we are having now together with you. But the interactions, we don't have to kill animals. That is the thing that we have already held a meeting, that we should not kill animals for food. Just chase them, occupy where they are, eat the vegetation, and then if you come back, leave them to eat.